Good evening from Europe. Good morning, good afternoon, guys, wherever you are. Still 18th of March 2021. The US market is closed. We are awaiting Tokyo Open for the Friday 19th of March 2021. Piotr here, this is Liteforex Global YouTube channel. So yesterday, post FOMC, we've seen some midweek reversal, but today, well, dollar bulls are back, right? So very interesting situation right here, right now. Let's start with euro dollar. Overall, I've been thinking to trying to fade eventually the rally of 1-to-1 right towards 2020, but we were discussing the whole zone 1990-2020. Looks like today 1990 was very enough supply again, and we've seen the rejection. So taking into the consideration yesterday and today price action, I'm not gonna be surprised that we are going to see retest 1890, 1880 and attempt to go higher anyway, maybe as early as next week, and then lower towards 1750. That's the number one. Number two, we might try to take that range, right, of let's say 100 points, and in case of the break of 1887 tomorrow towards the end of the day, we might start to think about 7050 right away. So to be honest with you, very important as of now where we are going to be towards the end of the day. Looks like 1890, 1880 as a key significant zone for now. That's where I'm going to expect some kind of the bias. Anyway, from the intraday perspective, what we were discussing yesterday post FOMC when we were preparing the plan, right? It was either that we are going to see some kind of the price action around the weekly open. That's what happened, because we've seen within the next hour bounce, right? Or somewhere towards the end of the breakout candle, right? And as you can see, we're trying to hold. We've seen the bounces, but finally towards the end of the day, and that's the most important thing, we've seen the break below. So as of now, when it comes to the buyers, this pre-FOMC consolidation, 50%, somewhere around 119 as a possible demand zone. So it could be treated as Tokyo early Europe stop hand and then recovery squaring the book towards the end of the week, right? But on the other hand, of course, sellers right now are around the weekly open of 1950. So that's how I see the things related to the euro dollar, right? The next one, dollar JPY. Here, if you do remember, we were discussing 108.60 levels with the possible demand based on the consolidation and 50% of that consolidation over here. We've seen the spike to the downside, immediately rally towards 109.30, but looks like because of what happened with indices, especially with Nasdaq, with strong move to the downside, well, looks like more consolidation is coming in. So, well, that could be for now the 109.30, and it might not happen that we are going to retest 110, 110.20. So I would be very careful when it comes to the dollar yen. So overall, taking into the consideration the price action we have right now, buyers around 108.60, 108.40, sellers at the top of that range up towards 109.30, 109.40. That's how I see the dollar yen. Next one, cable. Well, Bank of England, no change. We've seen from the intraday perspective, we've seen attempt to rally with the sell-off after all, right, and attempt to recovery. So overall, after yesterday's strong price action, we were discussing, if you do remember, that as long as we are above 39.40, we should see 140. Nice, perfect attempt to break 140, rejected. Then after the Bank of England over under, strong move to the downside, half recovery, and we are trying to hold weekly open, and we are below, back below 139.40. So let's repeat: supply 39.40.50 for tomorrow, and then again 140. We might see acceleration to the downside with the move below today's low, right? Let me show you. With the move below 39, acceleration to the downside, and even more acceleration to the downside if we are going to take out the 38.70, 38.50, and this pre-FOMC zone from where we've seen the ride, right? On the other hand, you might expect some buyers around this zone, and eventually over under 38.20 when it comes to the cable. Okay, so that's how I see the things here. Next one, we've seen the Australian job market, very strong number, and we've seen the Australian dollar rally overnight, right? But that's how the day is coming to the end. Big range, as discussed, stop count to the upside, stop count to the downside. We also discussed this range, right? If you do remember. So again, strong move to the upside, range holds. So again, supply, I see supply up towards 78. I see demand down towards 77 based on that range, right? In case of the break of yesterday low, 77, we might see attempt to retest 76. That's how I see the things related to the Australian dollar versus US dollar from the intraday perspective. Looks like this demand zone might be tested overnight, 17.715, 77. It's gonna be very, very interesting. When it comes to the calendar, we do have Australian retail sales data. We do have Bank of Japan, and well, tomorrow we do have Canadian retail sales. Very interesting day tomorrow, Friday, so watch out for the yen crosses during the Asian hours and early European hours, and for the Canadian crosses after that. I'm going to get back to you with an update post Bank of Japan, and then we are going to monitor Canadian crosses as well. With that being said, guys, wish you great Tokyo session. That's it from me. Good night, take care, see you around.